It's like somebody grabbed you and threw you into the anime abyss.
Like, literally, like, it's been 2 years.
They said, this is your life now.
They're like, you're making a podcast over this. Your weeb status has increased dramatically.
You have become a supreme weeb.
The supreme weed. That sounds like an episode
The
name.
supreme weed.
The supreme weeb.
Weeb. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Binger's Anime Edition. My name is Mo, and we're so happy to have you all here today.
And my name is Matty, and so pretty much we're just making a podcast about us, two weebs, just kind of talking about anime a little bit here and there. We're not just going to be exclusively like shonen anime, but we're going to kind of hit on every kind of genre out there. I mean, does that sound about right?
Yeah, definitely. Our legit title is Bingers, so if we're not binging, then what are we even doing here?
Yeah, okay, maybe we're not casual. We're a little bit more than casual.
Yeah, I would, considering that literally within the last week, Matt, you watched like 6 animes, I would say we are definitely more than casual.
Yeah, and I almost finished another one last night. I didn't mean to. I started
Which one?
The one with the bench. What was it called?
Oh my gosh, Oresuki or something like that.
Yeah, that one. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, I really liked it.
It's really funny, isn't it?
It's so funny.
I thought the whole bench thing was like so funny.
Oh, every time the bench shows up, I was like, I don't get this joke, and I'm like, oh, I get the joke now. It's pretty
he gets
good.
rejected for
every time.
Or
just something super strange happens.
Yes.
Wait, so have you seen that show?
I've seen probably like half of it.
Okay, yeah, I'm about halfway through. I'll finish the rest tonight for sure.
Yeah.
But then I'll start something else. Probably Love is War is what I will start next.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
especially
so-
since like season 2 is just about ready to come out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I'm kind of...
but they're all pushing back.
Yeah, exactly.
dates
Like,
now.
I'm going to wait to watch any seasonal stuff until, like, the whole season's out. Because, like, the corona apocalypse is preventing anything from coming out. Like, My Hero's still not finished getting dubbed. Railgun keeps getting pushed back. And so
Given got pushed back.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm so upset about that.
Well, Demon Slayer hasn't been pushed back yet, has it?
Well, Demon Slayer's not till October,
Oh, that's true. And they still have time. But, like, all the conventions are getting canceled.
which is really sad.
Which is crazy. Oh, did you see that? That one actor, I wrote it down.
The voice actor for Leorio
Yeah,
died.
I know. I was like, what the heck? What's his name? It was it was
KG
Yeah, Fujiwara, like something like that.
KG Fujiwara.
Yeah, like he died from cancer at 55. I was like, hot dang.
I know, I heard that and I was like, oh, poor Leorio.
Well, he also played Maze Hughes in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like, he was actually he did quite a bit, you know?
Yeah, I feel like though one of his definitely more iconic roles though was Leorio from
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hunter x Hunter.
But yeah, it was just, I don't know. It was just kind of sad, you know? It was just a sad day in the anime community, I guess. I mean,
we're all having a lot of sad days in
yeah,
the
like
anime community.
everything is like bad. I mean, I saw some comment on Instagram. It's like, well, I guess this gives me more opportunity to rewatch JoJo, which
Oh
I
my gosh.
hate to say
I
it.
hate JoJo fans. I'm just gonna tell you, I hate JoJo fans.
Oh no. I hope we didn't offend anyone. We probably did.
I mean, like if you're offended,
They just logged off. Everyone just
yeah,
logged off.
logged off.
They all did. Well, I mean, I've never seen JoJo. Have you?
It's just like I start to watch it because it's so interesting. Like the concept is very interesting, and I try to watch it, but I can't get past like the second episode. It's just like so extra, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely its own cup of tea. You know, it's very, very different. But I think that's what makes it so fascinating. I don't know. We'll talk about that.
No,
another
that
time.
definitely like that's why it's very popular. It's because it's so extra, you know, like JoJo poses and
Interesting.
stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just
So you know that new anime that I was talking about the other day?
Tower of God.
No, Balance Unlimited.
Yes.
The one where everybody is simping over the main character.
Oh yes, which you had to explain what simping was to me.
Daisuke
But
Kanbei.
that's cool.
Yeah, I had to explain what simping was. Uncultured.
Wait, what about it? I'm confused.
Oh, that it got pushed back in its releases, like with all the other
Oh,
ones
yeah.
and stuff. But everybody's like freaking out about it. Like, it's like
Why?
all over, because
Oh, is
everybody's
it like
like,
it's like Demon Slayer? Like if like anyone pushed back the release dates of Demon Slayer, like there would have been an outroar kind of
oh
thing.
yeah, most definitely. It's
Gotcha.
because honestly, everybody's like, I'm in love with Daisuke Kanbei, the main character.
Yeah, I haven't heard about this yet, so I'm sorry.
I actually watched the first episode though, and like, let me tell you, this whole episode was literally just like Daisuke Kanbei being like, "Fuck you, here's $1 million."
Oh, okay, good to know.
You
Yeah.
know, like, and then everybody was like freaking out because in the opening, which honestly, the opening is definitely a thirst trap.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about the same thing here.
Maybe. But and then there's like this like one scene and stuff where like he's holding like a girl, and everybody thought that that was like his fiance, and then everybody was like, let's kill her.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
And then we found out that it was actually his sister, and then
Oh.
everybody was like, let's simp over her now.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody, it was so funny. I saw a comment the other day that was like, y'all were just so ready to kill her, and now that you find out that like she's his sister, y'all like want to fangirl over her. No, that's not how that works.
You're like, you have to own up to your simping. your
Own up to your simping.
Fandoms. Oh wow. Oh
Fandoms.
my. Fan.
Not gonna lie, when I first read the title though of Balance Unlimited, I thought that it was of the Fate Stay Night
Oh yeah.
franchise, and I got super confused for a second. I was like,
Which once again, I'm sorry to disappoint all the fans, all of them out there, all of you, that neither of us have ever seen anything in the Fate series. It's on my bucket list.
Yes, definitely. I eventually do want to watch it, but
I didn't realize it was like a what battle royale? Not battle royale. What is it? It's like Hunger Games. What's it called?
like
to
a
the end?
gauntlet.
No, it's like everyone's killing
Death
each
game?
other. Yeah, death game. Wow. Okay. It's like I didn't realize it was like a death game. Like that tends
Yeah.
to be my favorite animes. Like even though most people don't like them, but
Yeah, because like,
I
aren't they
like them.
they like fighting for like the Holy Grail or something?
I guess.
like
I
that?
don't-
Like you get like a wish or something.
Yeah,
of
like
the
and
sword.
it's apparently it's literally just new characters each time, and they all fight and stuff. I think is the general premise. I don't know. We've never seen this. Please correct us if we're wrong.
Though I did see one though that said like something about how you should watch it if you are gonna watch it, because it is a very long series and it's got very like multiple shows, and so they were like talking the other day about how to like watch it, you know, like they were like skip the very first ever
Oh, okay.
one and like watch Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and
gotcha.
then another one, and then they were like then watch all the other sides, you
Yeah.
know, ones, and you
Well,
would be good.
We've been talking about doing this like in 2 weeks. Pretty much we made this decision.
Though I feel like this is like a labor of more than a year, because remember we went back and forth between like a YouTube channel.
That's
and
true.
then
Like we were talking about like doing a YouTube channel, and then we realized we don't really
want to do all that.
all that. It's I mean, this is a lot of work too, but it's different. Like it's more editing, post stuff, and we don't have to look good.
Yeah, I feel like
I can look
definitely in this you just need to concentrate on the
Yeah,
voice and what
exactly.
I'm actually saying rather than the way I look.
And on top of that, there's not very many anime podcasts out there, I feel like, and it'll be easier to find ours, and more people. Like, I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, yeah, I'll listen. And I'm like, okay. I'll, like,
Yeah,
make sure
even
to
like
let you
your
know.
non-weeb friends.
Yeah, they're like, I'll hear what you have to say. I'm like, what? Like, seriously? They're like, yeah, why not? I'm like, okay. In that case, like, we'll let you know when it comes out.
oh my
but-
gosh.
Yeah, so we're hoping to do weekly episodes. So what our kind of format we're thinking of doing is we'll just, talk about our life a little bit, then we'll review an anime, and then we'll kind of so me and Mo are really into like the music and stuff of anime and like the different types of songs and stuff. So we're going to have some song recommendations and stuff, just kind of talk about that a little bit. And
Yeah, I
then-
definitely think that's what puts us apart from
Yeah.
quite a
and-
few, is that we really want to focus more on the like visual and more, musical aspect
Exactly.
of the anime.
And like that's definitely something that whenever we talk in our free time, like that's what we talk about the most. Like, what's your favorite opening? Like, we heard this song, like you have to listen
Like,
to
oh
this
my
song.
god, if you guys saw our text messages to
Dude,
each other,
it's bad.
it's
Should we
literally
post that?
Oh my gosh. No,
I would
we're
give
not posting our text messages.
Everyone would be like, "You're having a stroke every time, Matty. Like, it's so bad. Like,
Yes.
I look like I'm dying in all my texts because I can't spell correctly at all. It's
Yes.
pretty bad.
It's called Matt Speak.
And it's people just have to learn how to do it. Like, sometimes there's not a single letter if it's the same in there, but my friends
You just
know.
pick it up.
Yeah, you just know.
It's
You
like
just know.
learning like to read a new language.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. I love you all. If you understand Matt lingo, like, yeah, that's something that we'll keep going. Maybe.
Yeah, most definitely.
You'll see if you post about it and be like, oh, so hopefully it's not like that all the time. So we're going to just kind of talk about different animes and stuff. And this is purely our opinion. Like, we are not like the critics that everyone should base their decisions off of. We're just here to give you our suggestions, kind of talk about the different things that are going on, but not really like
be a friendly weeb.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, you guys have your own opinions. We have your own opinions. We would love to hear your guys' comments about it. So whenever we get an email set up, and
we're just two friends talking.
Yeah, we're just two friends, two homies talking about anime, and we're about to talk about an anime, and there's going to be spoilers because it's just how you understand the plot, the synopsis, the big points of it. There'll be spoilers.
Definitely, guys. Like, there will be spoilers. If you have not seen the anime, I highly recommend that you get off here, go watch the anime, and then come back. But it's to your own discretion. You know, if you want to get
warned.
You've been warned. Don't come for us.
Yeah, because like we might not mean to, but we might accidentally spoil something that we don't think is a big deal. But I can guarantee you that like sometimes watching an anime that is just really complicated and really intense, like one of the ones we're going to talk about today, it will be, it's far more enjoyable when you hear it the first time. But at the same time, how are you going to know if you like the show or not? So we're hoping to give reviews that are
hopefully we'll give you guys kind of like the synopsis at the very beginning, and then
why we like it, why we think it did well,
and then you guys can make your decision about whether or not you want to continue listening or go watch the anime. I highly recommend you go watch the anime though.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you just kind of want to talk about how you got into anime? Like, why you started watching anime in general?
That's an embarrassing story.
That is fair, but the fans want to hear it.
So I got into anime in about the 6th grade, maybe. And I think I was just, like, scrolling through YouTube. I had no idea what anime was. And so, I came across this show on YouTube. What was it called? Oh yeah, it was like called like Mermaid Melody or something like that, and super embarrassing, super cringy, super 6th grade, but that became like my first anime, and I didn't know what it was.
Oh, what just happened?
My headphones getting... Hello?
Hello? Is everything back to normal?
I think we're good.
Okay. That was weird.
I like accidentally like went karate chop.
But yeah, so for me, like, I didn't start watching anime till I was in college, and it was kind of weird because I was always like, I grew up in that family. It was like, oh, anime's weird, like you can't watch that, blah 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 blah, which is so unfortunate. But that's a stigma because that is it's not a genre. It is a different type of medium. It's a different way to showcase different genres, and it's sad.
It's definitely us. It's like, I feel like it's more to just showcase even just artwork.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it takes talent to do that kind of thing.
Oh,
You can't just like pull it out of your butt.
Yeah, I wish I could just pull that out of my butt. But like these manga artists, like I have no idea how they do this, and then the animators, like I'm like blown away by some of the shows. Like I have to remember, like this is like hand drawn.
I find it like super amazing when they can take a scene from a manga and then like it's an action scene, and they can take that scene from the manga and put it into animation, and it's just how they do it, and like what they see when they do that, and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Oh wow, I don't know why I use that word. Not a fan of it, but I went to college, and my friend Sir, which I'm pretty sure she's going to be listening to this, so hey Sir, and she literally was like, hey, do you need a new show to watch? And I was like, yeah, like I haven't been able to watch anything. I was going through a superhero phase, and I kind of caught up on all my superhero shows his freshman year, like right before studio started. And then Sir was like, you want to watch a show called Attack on Titan? And I was like, I mean, what's it about? Like, it sounds kind of cool. Like, I mean, I thought it was like a Greek mythology show, like I thought there was like some show that came out with that title, but she pretty much was just like, no, it's an anime. And I'm like, oh, I mean, okay. And I'm like, that's fine.
Oh, anime.
And I was
The
like, oh,
basic like, oh, you
cringe.
watch that
I'm
type
like,
of response.
I mean, I was like, I'm not gonna judge you for it, I don't care. But and she's like, okay, well, let's watch. I'm like,
do not
okay.
be wrong. You were silently
I was
judging a
so
little
judging.
bit.
I was like, But then she's like, okay, we're gonna watch it. And then she was like, also, it's so much better in Japanese, so we're just gonna read the subtitles. And I was like, okay. And then I lied to her and was like, oh, I watch things in subtitles all the time, which is not true. I hate subtitles. Like, I never watch in subtitles because I feel like it's distracting. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. And then we started watching. And then in the first episode, I was like, what the heck? And then from that point on, the anime world, just the floodgates opened for me. And I was like, now I almost only exclusively watching anime. But yeah, we felt for the first episode, it would be fitting to just kind of do our first animes we've kind of watched, which...
Keep in mind, I am not doing Mermaid Melody. I am doing Ouran High School Host Club because this is probably like the third anime that I ever watched, but the first two are too embarrassing, and I will not repeat those other than Mermaid Melody.
But if anybody ever wants us to talk about it, please leave a comment and we will, or email us or
Please
make a comment. And
don't bring out my shame.
Yes,
don't bring out my
let's
shame.
bring out the shame from O. But yeah,
oh,
so...
and just so you know, it's not Boku no Pico. Please don't say that it's Boku no Pico.
In 6th grade?
Well, you never know. There's some people that have seen Boku no Pico in like 6th grade.
I don't think we're going to leave this in here.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We should probably start talking about...
Yeah, disclaimer, I have not seen season 3 of this anime, and I'm super sorry.
So are we starting with Attack on Titan?
Yeah, I figured we should start with Attack on Titan.
Which is the very first anime I have ever watched, minus Pokemon, because I don't count that because I didn't know it was an anime at the time. So
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, so we're going to consider this my first just because it's the first
anime
I watched.
It is your first. What do you mean consider it your first?
Well, I mean, like, I watched Digimon and Pokemon when I was little and, like, Beyblade, but, like, this is the first time I watched anime knowing it was an anime, not just a cartoon, you know? Like, I thought those were just cartoons on Cartoon Network.
My brother tells me that to, like, taunt me. He's like, you watch cartoons, and I'm like,
Japanese cartoons?
I was like, don't.
Which is technically what they are.
I call them, like, Japanese animated series.
Yeah, I call them Japanese
cartoons.
Anime, which I guess some people call it Japanese cartoons, which is one of most pet peeves, just saying. But, alright, well, now we seriously need to crack into this. So, yeah. Attack on Titan. It is a anime that is a dark fantasy, shonen, mystery, action, post-apocalyptic anime. Pretty much, the idea is that all of humanity is restricted to these 3 walls, Walmaria, Walrose, and Walsina. And they're being protected by these giants that are called Titans. Pretty much these creatures that their only purpose is to eat humans, and that's about it. Like, no one knows why they're there, that's all they're doing. And the story revolves around 3 main characters in the beginning of the episode, at the beginning of the show. I would say about 10. Sorry if that's not accurate, but they're about 10. And it's Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, which we'll talk about more later. Pretty much first episode, Walmaria is breached, and their hometown is attacked by these Titans. And pretty much the entire show is about these 3 characters trying to get revenge on these monsters that destroyed their life, their family, and everything. So they join the Cadet Corps, where they get trained in this super cool ODM gear to, like, fight Titans. They end up joining the Scout Regiment, and where in the Scout Regiment, originally their purpose was to try to expand themselves outside the walls, try to set up settlements and stuff to try to grow, because they're just restricted by this area. But eventually, after the walls are breached, they're really trying to, like, take back Walmaria somehow, like, get rid of these Titans. I mean, that's pretty much the plot. It just follows the main trio. There's not much character development. The pacing is awful in this anime. Like, I'm sorry.
This is exactly why it took me 3 years to finish the first season.
The pacing is so bad.
Like my whole philosophy is that if it's not good by, like, the 3rd episode, then, you know, I skip it.
I mean, the thing is, in this anime, the first episode is really, really, like, that first episode, like, grabbed you and, like, kept you watching.
But then I feel like it just gets stale.
And after that, it's just nothing really. Like, everything's super shallow. All the characters are super shallow. It's very flat. And then bam, they're getting attacked again. Bam, like there's another fight. Bam, they join the survey
I feel
corps.
like that it's like right after the Battle of Trost is like when I actually got interested in it again. That whole battle was just like
it was
too long.
And I agree. Like it for me, like it's what I watch first. So when people want to watch it, like an anime, I introduce this one to them. It's just such a pain to get through in the first season because it's so stagnant. There's nothing going on, and all the plot twists are very predictable. Like very predictable.
Yeah, like Eren being the Titan.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, they killed off the main character in the 4th episode. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, it's
happen.
like the Attack Titan showed up.
Yeah, and
and then it's like, come on.
And then Mikasa's like, what? Like I just need to keep fighting for humanity. Like why do I need to keep fighting? Blah blah. And then Eren is protecting her. I'm like, this is so predictable, but at the same time, I remember watching it for the first time. I was blown away by it because keep in mind, little Matty didn't have much anime experience, and this was his first anime ever. And
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really don't like it when battle arcs get drawn out for like a really long time,
and it is a pain. But this definitely improved later on in the anime because I guess the best way to explain is first season was a roller coaster of hype. Like it is literally like top. There's like the highest of highs, and you just go everywhere with it, and it's just crazy. But it's very emotionally shallow because so many characters died. Like every episode you like watch, like who's gonna die this time? But like you're not emotionally connected to anyone. Like they kill off characters they introduce, and then they kill them off in the next couple episodes. You're never really emotionally attached to them. It's very shallow. Yeah, Marco. Rip Marco. Sorry.
Rip Marco.
Yeah, Rip Marco and the entire
John.
Levi squad. Jean.
Jean.
Jean's only friend. But like...
Wait, weren't they like lovers or something?
I want to say it's kind of confirmed,
was it like,
but it's not confirmed in the anime.
It was very hinted.
Very strongly hinted. I think it's a lot more hinted in the manga, but now it's kind of...
Yeah, I thought I had read that somewhere that they were like lovers, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, I don't think they were ever lovers, but I think they were...
Like, they had like that romantic connection.
I think it's possible, but also in the anime adaptation, they didn't really emphasize that at all, so I'm going to, for the sake of this podcast, I'm just going to say that it doesn't really matter that much to the story. And even now in the 3rd season, like they barely... Well, actually, no, Marco just came up, like a major flashback in the 3rd scene to Marco and how he died, because it's a big plot twist, I guess, for that part. It's not a plot twist that he died, because he died very early in the show.
Yeah.
But his flashbacks keep coming back later on because it is a very... I would say it was kind of a tearjerker for me because at that point, there was so much more character development for all the other characters by the 3rd season that you got a lot more emotionally invested to that scene specifically, which I'm not going to talk about a ton, but so the first season was it was an action thrill rider. And then the 2nd season was like a huge focus on all these, like, they were major characters, but they were more secondary. And it was more of a mystery box, I guess. Like they were like hinting at things like certain characters being able to read different languages that weren't from this place. Like this background information about different characters. It just kind of... It hinted at what was more to come in the world, but it wasn't like a huge focus on that. It wasn't just like, here's the information. Like, it was like, what's going to happen next? And then it reveals like who some of the major titans are, like who they are. And then there's a really cool fight scene at the end of the season. Like, I really did like the 2nd season. I prefer the 2nd season to the 1st season.
Oh, most definitely. I think most people do.
And there was still some
it's just better story writing in general,
sure.
And pacing's really good.
The pacing is really good, and there was some plot twists that I did not see coming, like the Jaw Titan. Did not see that coming.
Well, and especially like I feel like with shonen anime that you do have to have really good pacing, or you do lose your following. Pretty quickly.
And there's apparently you have an extremely amazing fight scene because you can keep an audience that way. And
most definitely.
I feel like the 2nd season really redeemed AOT in that aspect. And then the 3rd season took like a left turn straight into like a political shit show, which is... So it was like this political conspiracy with the government, this whole coup, and like it was human on human fighting. It wasn't no longer human on Titan, and all these characters were put in morally difficult choices and stuff. And that's what I felt was so interesting about the 3rd season, which that was the first part of the 3rd season. And then the second part of it was like a huge epic fight. And like, it wasn't about if everyone's going to survive. It was like, who are the few characters who are going to survive by this? Because by the end of it, there was only like 6 major characters left. Like, this show kills off most of their major characters. And it is an extremely emotional deaths, too. They're predictable, but at this point, after 3 seasons, you actually are emotionally connected to some of the characters. And I feel it's a lot tougher, I guess.
I feel like they're going into like AOT that you just have to expect that major characters are going to get killed off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Attack on Titan's literally like Game of Thrones.
They are literally the worst people about doing that.
Oh, they kill off everyone. And I mean, that's how the manga's written. And it's not supposed to be a lighthearted, happy anime. Like, the light of heart should not watch this show because it is bloody, it is gory, people die constantly.
I mean, it definitely has a unique plot. I'll give it that. You know?
Yeah,
it's not like anything I've ever seen before.
World development is phenomenal in this. Like, for example, like, the author has really thought about everything in the world. Like, there doesn't need to be mentions of how the horses are carried over the wall, but there it is casually in the background. Like, he's thought about all these different things, how the social, political structure is set up. Everything makes sense in the anime. Like, I was even trying to find plot holes in it with some of my friends, and like, there's a few minor things that don't make sense here and there if it's more of the anime adaptation. But like, major story points, like, there's really none. Like, the timing, the ages of everyone, when things happen, why people waited so long, why it has to be done in a certain way, are all like, it all makes sense. It is, the world development in this anime is very, very good, in my opinion.
Though I will say, though, that one thing that I do find quite annoying about Attack on Titan is that they introduce all of these characters, but then a lot of them don't do anything. Yeah,
so if you watch the anime, one of the biggest things that people will say also is that there is no character development. Even our 3 main characters just fit typical tropes. You know, you got Eren, who is your angry, angsty, just wants to take on the whole world. He wants to kill all the Titans in revenge. That's his pure motivation. Then you got Mikasa, who is literally just, oh, I'll do anything for my friend Eren, and she's the typical, like, silent, super overpowered character. And then you got Armin, who's
hinted at a love interest.
Yeah, hinted love interest. And she almost has an interesting character development in some of her backstory, but pretty much they just throw it out the window and she immediately becomes the silent type again. And this is for most of the first season, and you got Armin, who is the typical super genius kid that's physically weak, that is probably the best, brightest thinker in all of humanity, but he's physically weak and has no backbone, pretty much. It's very cookie cutter like characters. And same with all the other ones. You have Sasha, who's literally just known as Potato Girl, like that's the meme.
Yeah, and that's where I like really have a problem with it, is like, I like characters that serve a purpose in animes. Exactly. Like, they are there to move the story along. But this one has a really hard time of like introducing characters that like get screen time but do nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, that is probably the worst part of it in the first season. Second season is a lot of minor characters get development, like character development. Like, if almost the main trio is not even there, and Captain Levi, who is literally, anytime Captain Levi, you can almost hear like the girl screaming in the background, like, oh my gosh,
you can almost
Captain
like
Levi.
Hear the panties dropping.
Yes, like, it is so bad. Like, everyone loves this character, and I mean, he's cool, but like, okay.
I think he's pretty cool. I think he's one of the coolest characters in that.
A total badass, and like,
I mean, honestly, I think he's cooler than the main character.
I agree.
I think he's a lot cooler than any of the main cast.
Yeah, Eren's a whiny bitch. I hate Eren with a passion. I love this show, but I hate Eren. But the second season focused a lot on the minor characters. It follows a lot on Reina, Bertold, and what's their name? Ymir.
But can you really call those people minor characters, though?
Yeah, they're now major characters, but in the first season, like,
I mean, yeah, in the first season they were definitely minor characters, but like, at this point, you know, in the anime, you can't really call them, minor characters.
Krista, especially, she is such an interesting character, and the third season, she's a total badass. Like, I'm sorry, I almost like her better than Mikasa, in my opinion. I feel like she's best girl, but that's just me. But
who?
Krista,
yeah.
And Captain...
Sorry, it just went over my head for a second.
Like, what are we doing? Who are we? So one of the things I was kind of researching was like the dub cast. So Mo and I watch a lot of dub. Like,
I'm leaning more towards sub these days, honestly.
Yeah, because I've been starting more anime sub lately.
Honestly, just because I just don't want to wait for the dub to come out.
That's fair, because the Chrono Apocalypse.
I already have way too many shows that I watch dubbed that I have to wait for it to come out dubbed. So
Which I'll be honest, I watched Attack on Titan first sub, and then I rewatched it dub, and then I watched it sub again, and like I go back and forth. Like I do admit the sub is a lot better than the dub because the dub doesn't really have an all-star cast. Like Josh Grill plays Armin, which of course Josh Grill plays Armin because it's that type of character. But none of the like super famous voice actors are any of the major characters. They're all the minor characters. I would almost say that the supporting cast of Attack on Titan has better dub actors than the main cast. Like Colleen plays Mikasa's mother, Todd Habercorn's in it. He plays one of the scouts, and then like Christopher Sabat is also in it, and like it's just Todd Habercorn's in it. Like all these famous dub voice actors.
I can see you really like Todd Habercorn.
Okay, it's not that he's very well known. Like he's very okay. I like Todd Habercorn. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I like Todd Habercorn too. It's just so funny that like
it's just the name I know because he does all the Miss Mojo guest star stuff, so I know this actor very well. So one of the things I was kind of researching was that this show, especially in the first season, like the reason why Attack on Titan was so popular, you would talk about it casually like you were talking about Game of Thrones because it really was like the Game of Thrones of anime. It came out in
2013.
2013 was when the first season came out, and
but then they had like a 4-year hiatus until the second season.
That's one of the biggest drawbacks from it. But like when it came out, these Titans really resembled like zombies and stuff. And in 2013, the Western culture was very heavy into like zombies and stuff like that and post-apocalyptic. And this anime was a great introduction into anime to be mainstream in a lot of Western culture, especially in the United States.
Oh, most definitely. I can definitely agree to that. Even though, like, I will say this, it is not one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites, I'm sorry.
I know it is one of your favorites. It's not one of mine. I do appreciate the anime, though, and I will recommend it. It's not one that I would just be like, don't watch, but let me tell you, I wouldn't watch it a second time.
I also think if you watch the third season, your opinion of it would change quite a bit, because the third season...
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I like the anime and stuff, but it took me probably between 2 to 3 years to actually finish the first season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I remember I started watching it probably in high school, and then I just couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't finish it.
So yeah, this anime was made by Wit Studio.
And also IG.
And IG as well, and it's based off of the manga, of course, that is written by what's his name, Hajime Isayama, I think is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It had a pretty good studio writing it, and.
Oh, you know what? Like, this was one of the, like, aspects of it that I found really interesting because as I was looking more at the studios that actually produced it, you know, some of my actually, like, favorite animes were, like, produced by these studios, and I had no idea. And like, Studio Wit produced The Ancient Magus Bride. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Super good. Like, even my brother's seen it, and he's not an avid anime watcher. Like, the other day it was so funny. Luke told me that he watches, like, shoujo anime.
Does he really?
Yes. And I literally, like, my jaw, when I say my jaw dropped, it dropped.
All the way to the floor. You could hear it. Like,
it dropped through the earth into the mantle. Like, but, and then, like, IG produced, like, animes like XXXholic, and then, like, Eden of the East, Kimi ni Todoke, Haikyu, even.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, like, I see now. Especially, like, I can see similar art styles in Studio Wit's production. Definitely, like, I didn't really notice this until, like, I found out they were from the same company, but the art styles in, like, The Ancient Magus Bride and then AOT are kind of similar. Not too much, but, like, you can, like, see it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, like, one of the things I think Wit Studio did very well, and this is very rare for an anime, I feel that the anime adaptation is almost better than the manga itself, which is because we're not going to talk about mangas a lot, but I think this is important to say for this anime.
Have you read the manga?
I haven't read the manga, but I have, like, seen bits and pieces of it, but the art style is very amateurish. It's very sketchy. It's gotten better over time, but even the author will say, he's like, I am not good at this. This is very amateur, which is what people say is a lot of the appeal for it. But the anime adaptation of it, like, Wit Studios really, like, did very good job of taking this manga and making it, like, very beautiful. And the director, Tetsura Arichi, I don't know, I can't read my handwriting. I forgot the director's name. Do you have a note on it?
No, I only have like the writer and then the.
Well, I mean-
Tetsuro Araki.
Oh, yeah.
He directed seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, and he's very known for like taking still action shots and like really building up to those big climatic points, which is really what first season of Attack on Titan is. That is where all the hype is. It's these huge fight scenes, these badass like ODM gear driven like flying acrobatics and like
Oh yeah, I've
destroying-
never not
killing
seen
monsters.
somebody who's like in love with AOT and not want to like fly around on like Omni gear.
Like, and like it's such an appeal because it's so cool. Like I've had not casual conversations with some of my friends where we're like, it'd be so cool if we had ODM gear and we could just like fly around campus, get to our classes that way. Like it would be so cool. And like that aerial combat is really what made like AOT stick out. Like it really.
Most definitely.
And then that's really.
I will say that that's definitely one thing, in my opinion, that AOT has kind of going for them is that they do have these amazing, action scenes, which I think that at the time that the anime was actually produced is kind of ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah. Like it's even now, if you watch it, it's still very memorable. But keep in mind, this came out in 2013, almost 7 years ago. And like they did a really good job about making those still frame, like huge action shots. Like they really focused on those, and I think the director did a really good job in that.
Oh yeah, I feel like just all of the action scenes were so fluid.
Oh yeah, for sure. He did.
They weren't too still. Like
yeah, exactly.
here.
He
like
brought it to this point.
Like legit, one of the scenes that comes to mind when I say that is literally the Kenny versus Levi.
Oh yeah, that is such a cool scene. And you haven't even seen the third season.
But I've seen that scene. I've seen that scene.
Levi versus the Beast Titan is such a cool scene.
I feel like just both of those are just so like fluid. It almost seems like they're real people fighting.
Yeah, I will be honest. In Attack on Titan, the CGI of the Colossal Titan is literally awful. I am sorry, it is terrible. Like the proportions aren't right the entire time. Like they changed the proportions of the Colossal Titan per scene. It's so bad. Like, and they used the regular animation for in the second season, and they went right back to like the CGI in the third season, and it's so bad. And I mean, it's not awful, it's not terrible to watch, but I don't like it. I like the regular animation of it much better. But that's just my opinion,
Don't get me wrong, there's like some like animation that really bugs me, like when I'm watching like a music anime or something and they do like the CGI, like the Given like drummer. Did you the like?
Yeah, no, I didn't notice it. I'm sorry.
It's like the way they move and stuff, like.
It is just, yeah. I mean, it definitely makes some breaks in anime, in my opinion, as well.
I hate CGI in anime. I'm just gonna say it. I hate CGI in anime. I don't think it has any place.
No, I
Does
agree.
it need to be
CGI
there?
is, other than the character development and the lack of it and how shallow it is, the CGI in Attack on Titan is one of the biggest issues I have. No, the pacing. The pacing is the worst. The biggest issue.
I don't.
But once again, that's just really the first season. After the first season, the pacing is fixed, which is why, for me, like especially this newest season coming out, I am very excited about
season
how
4.
They finish it. Yeah, because they have a ton of material left they have to cover, and that means there's no way they're drawing out these fight scenes. Like they are going to like.
They're gonna.
Yeah, it'll be
hit
be
it
good.
And quit it.
And I read some spoilers when I was doing this research, and I'm very upset that I read them, but it is very interesting. I'm excited. I think it'll be very good, which is coming out in 2020. So one of the things I was kind of researching was that the way they even use the music to like build up to these huge points, like the music is so loud that you can't even hear yourself think. You can sometimes not even hear the characters talking because it is so like loud, but it builds up to that huge climatic point that you just experience.
It's like that, like blood pumping,
Yeah, exactly.
Like...
It's like the opening of animes that make you like super hyped for it, but like they integrate that into the entire show. One of the things that I think this anime is really known for, though, is its openings. Like
most
sure.
Definitely. I've never not seen a fan of AOT not yell Jaeger at the top of their lungs.
First season opening, and what's interesting is I think the openings do such a good job of giving this hype and this patriotism to a country that is like falling apart. There isn't much nationalism, especially like in the third season by then. Like everything's been flipped upside down. It's very corrupt, blah, blah, blah.
I will say though that AOT has one of the most like iconic openings ever in anime. I would say that.
Oh yeah, it's like it's not.
I
Like,
would say that the music in general composed in the actual anime is not really anything special.
I don't think it's super special, but I do enjoy the music. Like I will listen to the soundtrack of it while I'm doing homework because it does get me hyped up to do homework.
Yeah. Oh, I've never really paid attention to any other songs, honestly, besides the openings.
That's
for
true.
AOT.
Yeah. There's a few that I can have you listen to that are actually pretty good that I really like. But what I wanted to talk about more was the endings. Like I've never really watched them, but I just rewatched them and I didn't realize it. But the endings have so much spoilers in it. Like it explains what is going on in the entire world.
Really?
Yeah, like things that you don't realize till after the third season.
Is it like
season.
An opening theme song, or is it
No,
like
the endings of each season? Like the first season ending. Well, the first season ending was about Mikasa and her like relationship with Eren.
Yeah.
But the second part, like the second ending in the first season, with a lot of focus on the walls and like the secrets behind the walls, and it had them written in the endings, and it had focus on the different characters and what their darker sides were and stuff. And then there's just so much, like there's in the second season their ending follows the whole backstory of how the Titans were created. It's all written there in pictures. It's not like obvious, but now that things have been explained later, they hinted at it at the endings of each episode, which I thought was so interesting. There was like spoilers the entire time what was going on at the end, and it's more for like I think the manga fans anyway, because I always skip them to go to the next episode. But
oh yeah, it's like manga fans are super crazy. I've never met a group of people like so, like I know what happens already.
Oh yeah,
you
like
know?
the manga fans are definitely very, very hardcore. We'll just put it that way. But
yeah, all the like Demon Slayer and fans all in their
fans.
feels right now.
Which I mean, I'm not gonna
I don't
say,
know what happens. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that it's not a bad thing to read a manga. Like I think reading the manga is great. It's just for me, and also for the sake of this podcast, I'm gonna watch the anime and not read spoilers and whatnot.
You are a different breed than I am, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just me. I like the like big impactful reveals in the anime and watching that because
I like to read the like manga just because I like to see what the author had originally had intended, because a lot of things tend to get rewritten and not everything's exactly how it was supposed to be, and so I like to see how originally it was supposed to be.
That's why Attack on Titan is so interesting because, for example, in the end of the third season, okay, a little of a spoiler, but the end of the third season, they finally get to the basement, which is kind of what their whole purpose of
they finally get to the basement.
You get to the basement. Finally, they keep talking about it.
Oh my gosh, the key in the basement. That's the whole thing.
It's literally an info drop. It reveals everything that's been going on, why everything's the way it is. In the manga, it is literally chapters and chapters, pages and pages of just text. But the anime adaptation of it is in 2 episodes. The pacing is actually better in the anime at the end of the third season than it is in the manga. That's my opinion. Like, everyone else is entitled to their opinion, but I think that Attack on Titan gets better in its pacing the farther it gets, to the point where the anime is almost better than the manga itself. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything, but I don't like to think that like an anime is better than the manga.
Yeah. I don't think it's better. I think it's doing a better job at fixing the pacing issues.
I mean, yeah.
The source material is still there. It is still an adaptation of the original source material. But for us just watching it, it's very enjoyable. It's not one of those things that like, oh, you need to read the manga because it's so much better. I wouldn't say it's better. I think they're at the same level. I think they are both very great mediums to produce this show.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But like, I do feel like one of the definite things that anime does have going for it that like manga doesn't is basically animation. Yeah. In general, just because you see like a scene on a manga, but then like you're not too sure how that scene would actually play out and look. And that's like where I feel like anime comes in and actually does its job very well. Like it takes that one scene, choreographs it, and like plays it, and like gives you the image in your head of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. The visuals is so fascinating how it adapts a manga to an anime. Like I think it is so fascinating, and like, but
oh, my stomach's rumbling.
It's fine. Did you eat?
No.
Oh no, honey, we're gonna be here for a while.
It's fine.
It's fine. I also really have to pee. I have to pee so bad. Can I?
You literally just like peed.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna
pause it.
Should I just pause it? I'll just let it run, and I have to go pee.
Oh my
I'll be
gosh,
back.
okay.
I'm sorry.
When it comes to AOT, as I have said in the very beginning, it's not one of my favorites, but it is one that I would definitely recommend to someone else. You know, shonen is actually like a very recent genre of mine that I've really come to like. When I first started my anime journey, it was mostly, you know, shoujo, romance, comedy, slice of life, animes that I would normally be drawn to. Whereas, like, nowadays I find myself actually gravitating more towards, like, shonen and action and, you know, dark fantasy, thriller, mystery. And I think this just because, like, you know, our tastes grow and change, and, like, definitely what I do now is not what I did in the 6th grade. I don't wear my hair in a side braid anymore and wear thick eyeliner and listen to Evanescence on repeat all day, but definitely, like, my tastes now lean more towards shonen and action. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back.
but
Sorry.
it was, like, AOT that really kind of got me into that, like, genre of, like, shonen and, you know, got me quite interested in it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I just hopped back in, so I hope Mo entertained y'all.
Nah, it's just, like, talking about how shonen is actually kind of, like, a recent genre of mine. It's not very...
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, like, within the last 2 years, I never really watched shonen anime. It was mostly romance.
Oh, so Attack on Titan was the show that kind of got you into it?
I would say pretty much, you know? Like,
if you want to watch, I would recommend Attack on Titan.
I would say, though, that My Hero Academia is where I really found my heart for it.
That's true.
But...
I mean, if you're trying to, let's say you have a friend that comes to you and is like, what anime should I watch? I almost always watch Attack on Titan first with people, just because that was the first anime I watched. I want to see the reactions.
It's kind of an easy anime to get into,
yeah,
though.
like, the pacing, though, is an issue. But the more I think about it, I feel like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood would almost be a better anime to get into, because it's not just 12 episodes, it has 4 seasons. It's a much better, like, first anime to watch, but...
I don't know, like,
for my
I
male
feel like
friends.
the very, like, unique plots and stuff is what's really important when you're first starting out in anime. Just because if you put them in and make them watch, you know, very sappy, slice of life, romance comedy, of course they're going to get bored, you know? Yeah. I mean, you have to, like, ease them into that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think, all in all, Attack on Titan might have a lot of flaws. It does, but... what it does well, it does really well. The fight scenes are over the top. The music, in my opinion, is really good, which I know you have a slightly different opinion on, but I like the music throughout the whole series.
I mean, I'm not saying that the music is bad or anything.
I mean, for me, it's one of my favorite soundtracks. Like, I listen to the soundtrack quite a bit.
I would say that it's not my favorite, but I can't discredit the fact that it's very iconic.
That's
you know?
Yeah, I guess that's a better way to put it. It's iconic. Like, when I hear it, I know it's Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like,
yeah, I feel like that's pretty much Attack on Titan. You can watch it on Funimation, Hulu, Crunchyroll, and the first season's on Netflix, which please watch it on something else so you can watch the second, third season, because it's so much better than the first season.
All right, guys, so we're getting to the end of the podcast now. So we kind of just want to take a second to really appreciate anime music. It's definitely, as we've said before, one of a passion of both of ours. And so we have brought song recommendations for you guys. And these are just kind of ones that both of us have been really listening to over the past week, you know. And
keep in mind that we haven't shared with each other which ones we're recommending. So I really hope
it could be the same.
It probably is the same.
Maybe.
Be honest.
Maybe not.
Do you want to go first, Mo?
Yeah, definitely. My very first recommendation is Hikariare from Burnout Syndromes. It is the 5th opening of Haikyu.
Oh, is it the Fly High opening?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you've never seen Haikyu.
I'm sorry. It's on my
I recently just finished Haikyu, the 3rd season, and so I'm really, like, in a Haikyu, like, high right now. I don't know, just Hikariare just, like, gets my blood going and, you know, really gets me, like, hyped up.
That band, Burnout Syndrome, like, when I work out, I listen to pretty much only their songs because it really gets me into it.
Like, I haven't found a song yet of theirs that I didn't like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I will add that to my playlist.
Yes, definitely add Hikariare.
I'll include a link of some sort to try to find it on Spotify and stuff. Oh, no.
I'm not going to sing for you guys.
I will try to include some sort of link or something. Like, I'll try to include Spotify and Apple Music, because I know I use Spotify and you use Apple Music, don't you? Okay. I don't know how that all works, but we'll figure that out.
We'll add a link, or, go look it up.
Or we won't.
Easy to, we gave you guys the artist name, Burnout Syndrome. It's pretty easy to go
Google
find it.
I mean, you literally can just Google the anime and...
I really recommend going and watching the 5th opening, because it's a real, I will tell you that I literally sang along to this opening every episode.
Oh, yeah,
of the 3rd season.
Yeah, so my recommendation, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. Of course, because I just watched this anime, is Fuyu no Hanashi, which is the Given song.
Oh, the Given one.
Yeah, it's the Given song. I can't... I am not in
so
Japanese.
the English version of the song is called The Winter Story.
Yeah, which I knew that. I should have just left with that. Okay, I butchered that. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, listen. I'm not fluent in Japanese. I barely can speak English half the time. So,
That's very true.
Mo is definitely going to be doing the pronunciation. So please, 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 don't eat me alive when I mispronounce something, because it's going to be so bad. But you can just look up the anime Given into Spotify and it'll pop up, and it's the
you
name.
can look up Mafuyu, The Winter Story, Given, and it'll come up.
And it's just, for me, I just watched a show, and it, I had listened to it before I watched the anime, and I was kind of okay, it's good, whatever. But
it means more when you
But when you
watch
the anime, and then you listen to this, if you see the translation of what the lyrics mean, it means so much more. It was very, very good. Let
me tell you, when I first saw that scene, and with the whole song and everything, I cried. I legit cried.
I teared up a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And my roommate and I were watching it, and we were both kind of oh. And it kind of got to both of us. And we're not big criers.
Oh my gosh, the part where he was would you die for me?
Oh no, yeah, that was sad.
Looks like you followed through a little bit too early.
Yeah, too soon. But yeah, you guys, these are both really, really good songs, and I strongly recommend watching? Well, watching and listening to them,
Oh yeah, go watch these.
The clips are really good.
I mean, definitely with the Given clip, it's kind of hard to really get into it and very get emotionally attached to it if you haven't seen the anime, because that song is basically the culmination of Mafuyu's journey.
Oh no, are we doing
I'm not no. I'm just doing a little hi.
We'll do it eventually.
Yeah, we'll do it eventually, but this is just a little sneak peek, but yeah. Definitely that song is just a culmination of his whole journey with what has happened in his life. It's just you get really emotionally attached to it because you feel you grew with him.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's why I recommend it. It's just because I literally have been listening to songs so much. I've been listening to a lot of other ones, and I was just trying to recommend this one to you.
I know how Hikariare stuck in my head.
I'm so sorry.
I can't get it out.
These are our music recommendations. If you guys have any suggestions of what you guys want us to do, just let us know. If you guys want us to
most definitely.
If you guys want us to dive deeper into music and the characters, the visuals, the production information, the news in the world, the anime news world, just let us know. We will
So every week we're gonna be, instead of deciding what anime that we're gonna talk about, we're gonna just leave it up to the fates and pull the anime out of a bag.
Yeah, and we will see. It might be really cringy, and it might be really good. We don't know. We pretty much just wrote all the animes we've watched, put in a bag. If we've both seen it, we put it in twice, because one for both of us, and so it's more likely to be drawn. We'll do that at the end of the next episode for next week's episode.
But yeah, most definitely. But if you guys have suggestions of anime that you want us to watch and review over, don't hesitate to
ask us. Yeah, we will more than happy talk to you guys. We want comments, and DM us on our Instagram page and email us.
Follow us on Instagram, by the way.
Please do. We'll
insert a link to our Instagram and Twitter
and stuff, and we'll just talk about it later. But yeah, we'd love some feedback. We want to engage with you guys. We want you guys to feel that you're part of this podcast, because honestly, that's what we're doing this. It's not just for you and me, Mo. It's for all of you guys. We're gonna give recommendations for what people want to hear. What's your guys' favorite anime? Let us know, because I would love some recommendations. I'm binging too much right now because of the coronavirus.
Definitely, this podcast is a lot about us and like our passions for anime and stuff, but it's like I feel like it's also about you guys, the listeners, and like having a connection with you guys, and you know, getting to know you and like getting to know like what you want us to do.
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure. And I mean, this is what all you guys want to hear as well. So we'll probably make a Facebook group or something. I don't know. Do people get on Facebook?
Let's not do a Facebook group.
Never mind. Edit that out. Scratch that. We want you guys to feel that you guys can talk to us because we want to talk to you guys about anime. Like, if you want to talk,
Yeah, we just want to have friends. We just want to have anime
please
friends.
just talk to us.
Just talk to us
We're
about
lonely.
anime.
The coronavirus is really draining me right now. Okay, like I need some interaction with people.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just want people to talk about anime with.
Honestly, same. Like, I have a lot of friends that do, but Mo, you definitely.
All of mine are male friends.
Yeah, I have a couple. Like, yeah. So.
And you guys don't watch all the girly stuff that I watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch the girly stuff either. Like, I barely watch rom-com, but I'm finally getting into it. So.
I have a really good one that I need to recommend to you,
Oh,
but
no.
we'll do that
Oh.
off of the podcast.
Yeah, that's been our week. Is there anything else that happened this week that you want to talk about?
I really don't think so.
I have a little rant I could go on about my taxes, but
Let's not go to taxes.
you don't want to go through that?
No.
You don't want me to like rant real quick about all that?
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm not. No.
Breathe and move on.
It's fine. It's fine. So, thank
right,
you
guys,
so
thanks
much.
for-
Like, if you say through this whole thing, you are a godsend. Like, I have no idea how you got through that because I don't know how we got through that. But thank you guys so much for listening to us.
Definitely tune in for part 2 of episode 1, where we will be reviewing Ouran High School Host Club.
It's going to be very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to this anime. I did not think I would enjoy this. So
Me too.
it's
This
going
is
to be
one
good.
of my first ones.
All right.
So,
Well,
all
thank
right.
you guys. See you guys soon.
All right, thanks guys.